NFC East is the best, biggest, greatest division in all of sports. It always has, it always will be. The NFC East is where the battles happen. Every year these teams go at it. And no matter how bad one team is or how good one team is, they always fight in tough games. Now, this year is going to be no exception. But I expect two teams to really go head to head this year, and it's just great that week one we start off with division games just to get this thing going. You got Dallas versus the Giants, right? Eli man. Boom! Demarcus Lawrence destroys him. They fumble. Dallas picks the ball up at the 8-yard line of the Giants. In comes Dak Prescott after 2 plays of nothing. Dak Prescott, 3rd and goal from the 8. Dak, he's looking. He overthrows Amari Cooper because he can't hit a pass over 5 yards. He's too inaccurate. So Dallas kicks a field goal. They win 3-0. Then you got the Eagles, Redskins. Redskins come out. Casey Stinkum. He stinks. First down, handoff, no yards. Second down, handoff, no yards. Third down, Casey Stinkum gets sacked. They punt the ball. Eagles get it. Carson Wentz comes over, takes over from the 30. Carson, first play, directed traffic, doing his thing. This and that and that. Carson Wentz, first play of the game for the Eagles for the season. Wait! Play action! Carson, back to pass. He's looking. He's pumping. Now he's looking. Now he's going long. He's got Deshaun Jackson wide open at the 25, 20, 10, 5, touchdown! Eagles first play of the season.
Still the cowboy, Mr. McLean. You Americans are all alike. But this time, John Wayne doesn't walk into the sunset with Grace Kelly. Scary Cooper, asshole! Oh shit! That was crazy!
Happy trails, Hans.
Dallas still stinks.
Yo, everybody, how you doing? King Ding back here. So the NFC East is going to be another big battle. Even though we're going to have a couple stinky teams in it, they're going to battle each other tough. And I want to go over the schedules of the Cowboys, the Giants, and the Redskins today. And I want to talk about their chances to win the NFC East. Now, I've already done a video talking about the Eagles' schedule and what they would do. I said the Eagles are a 13-3 team. I stand by that. Right now, at this point, I think there's no reason why they can't be a 13-3 team, 12-4 team, somewhere around there. But I want to look at the other teams. Do they have a shot to win the division over the Eagles? Let's take a look at it. Let's look at these teams. Let's see what they have. Now, there's been some odds that have come out from Vegas, and basically the Eagles are slight favorites to win the division. They're slight favorites, followed by Dallas, then the Redskins, and then the Giants, I think, were like 16-1 or something like that. But the Eagles are the favorites, and I think that this is totally reasonable. After all, no team in that division has repeated as NFC East champion since, I believe, the Eagles of 2004, something like that. So it's been a long time, and why would we think things are going to change? The Eagles are restocked, they are reloaded, and I think they're ready for a run in this division. But let's look at these other teams, and let's start with the Washington Redskins. Now, I do think they had the best draft. The problem is I don't think the draft is going to help them so much this year as much as it's going to help them 2-3 years down the road. And I think probably halfway, a little over halfway at some point, I think they go to Haskins. But they're going to start off with Stinkum. So let's start taking a quick look at the Redskins schedule. So week 1 versus the Eagles, loss. Then they come home for home opener versus Dallas, loss. Then they got a primetime game against Chicago, loss. Then they got to go to New York week 4 and play the Giants. That's a win. So after 4 games, they're 1-3. Then October 26th, week 5, they played New England Patriots at home, loss. Then they play at Miami, loss. Then they got to come home, play the 49ers, win. Then they're going to go and they're going to play Minnesota Vikings, loss. Then week 9, they're going to go to at Buffalo, and they're going to be losing this game. They are going to be losing this game, and they're gonna put Haskins in to see what he could do, and he's going to come back and win the game. So after 9 weeks, the Redskins will be on a bye, and they will be 3-6. And during that Week 10 bye week is when they make the change to Haskins. Now Haskins is going to come out, and they're going to play the New York Jets. Week 11, they're going to win at home. Then they're going to play Detroit, and they're going to win again. Then they're going to go to Carolina, and Haskins is going to play great. They're going to upset the Carolina Panthers in Carolina. This is going to take them to 6-6. All of a sudden, the Redskins are turning on. They're 500. Now, they're going to have to go play Green Bay December 8th in Green Bay. That's a loss. Very hard to beat Green Bay in Green Bay that time of year. Then they play at home against the Eagles. Loss. Then they're going to play December 22nd at home against the Giants. That's going to be a win. Then they are going to play Dallas last week in Dallas, and they're going to lose. So I have the Redskins at the end of the year. Despite starting off bad, Haskins is going to do a great job because I really like the kid. And they are going to finish 7-9 with something to build on going into the future. But that's where I see the Redskins finishing this year. And now I want to talk about the New York Giants. The New York stinking Giants. They trade Odell Beckham. They draft Daniel Jones. And I got to tell you, the funniest thing to me about this Daniel Jones is that when they initially drafted Daniel Jones, you saw the ire and the hatred and the fury and the people like Entertain and Bad Dog. Shout out to those guys. But they were so pissed off. They were so mad that they drafted Daniel Jones. But something happens. And it happens to all sports fans of teams. You start to try to talk yourself into the pick, into the guy. They get delusional. We've done it. I've done it before myself with players. You try to come up with reasons why this guy's going to be good. Oh, he looked good in shorts. He looked good throwing in nothing, in shorts and no pads. Who cares? He stinks. Your initial reaction 95% of the time is right. You guys hated the pick because he stinks. And that's what you're going to get. And you're going to suffer for the next 10 years. But I do want to go through the Giants' schedule here. So let's do it. That's Eli Manning-face. How long are we going to get that? I don't know. But I assume that they're going to try to start him most of the year. We'll see. So, the Giants, the stinky Giants open up against Dallas. In Dallas. Loss. Then they play Buffalo at home week 2. I'm going to say they win that game. I'm going to give them a win. So the Giants are 1-1. Going into week 3 at Tampa. Loss. At home the next week against Washington. Loss. At home against Minnesota. Loss. Against the Patriots. Loss. Then they play at home against the Cardinals. Win. I'm going to have them win that game. Then they got to play Detroit. Loss. Then they got to play Dallas again at home. November 4th, a primetime game. Loss. Then they're going to play the stinking Jets week 10. Loss. Now, after 10 weeks, they are 2-8. And they go on a bye week 11. They come right back, and they're going to play the Chicago Bears in Chicago. Chicago wants revenge. That's a loss. Then they come home and they play Green Bay. That's a loss. Now they're finally playing the Eagles first time all year. That's a loss. Then they got the Miami Dolphins at home. Loss. Then they got to go to Washington. Loss. Then they're going to play the Philadelphia Eagles last game of the year. And that's a win. That's a win. So I got the New York Giants finishing 3-13 on the year. I think it's about right. I think they stink. Poor Saquon Barkley. So Giants 3-13. When do they go to Daniel Jones? Will he sit all year? That'll be the big question. I think the Giants 3-13 team. Okay, Dallas, you are next. Now we're going to see where you finish. We saw where the Redskins are, where the Giants are. I want to know, what are the Cowboys going to do? Can you keep up with the Eagles? I said all along, I think this is a 2-team race in this division. Let's see what you can do. Let's see if you can keep up with the Birds. So Dallas opens up against the Giants. Week 1, that's a win. Second week, they play at Washington. That's a win. 9/22, they play at home against the Dolphins. That's a win. Week 4, They play the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. I have this a loss. You're not playing New Orleans in Dallas. You're playing them in New Orleans. So I think after 4 weeks, I have the Dallas Cowboys at 3-1. Now, October 6th, they're going to play the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers, that Dragon Slayer, usually beats Dallas. That's what he does. But I'm going to say the team around him, I don't know how good they are. I'm going to say Dallas beats the Packers. So that takes you to 4-1. Now you're playing the Jets at New York. That's a win. Now you're 5-1. So right now you're 5-1 and you're playing the Eagles. And I said this all along. You ain't beating the Eagles. The Eagles are sweeping you this year. I'm not kidding. So the Eagles, Dallas, in Dallas, 10-20, primetime game. I got the Eagles winning that game. So you're now 5-2. Then you play at New York. You beat the Giants. You're 6-2. Then you're going to play the Vikings. I think you win. You play at home, 7-2. Then you're at Detroit, 8-2. Then you're going to play the New England Patriots. You are going to lose that game, taking you to 8-3. Got to play New England November 24th. That's not an easy place to play. So there's 3 losses for you. Then you play the Bills. That's a win. Then the following week, you play the Chicago Bears in Chicago. Chicago, primetime game, December 5th. It's cold. I got the Bears winning that game, giving you your 4th loss of the year. Then you play the Rams at home, December 15th. I got you winning that game. Now, the Eagles, 12-22. You guys have 4 losses. The Eagles will have 2 losses at this time, and this will be a must-win for you guys. This will be a clinch everything for the Eagles, clinch home field, all that. I believe the Eagles will win. It's in Philly, 12-22. The Eagles win, you lose, and now you're 10-5, going to play the Redskins. And I believe you beat the Redskins, and Dallas will finish 11-5 this year. That's what I think will happen. I think it will be close, very much. During the regular season, Dallas Eagles, I think the Eagles will beat them twice this year. I think they're due. Dallas is due to lose. It's going to happen. And I think Dallas goes 11-5. So I have the division right now. Now, I'm going to do this 2 more times. I'll do this midsummer, and I'll do this right before preseason. And this is based on no injuries. I'm not throwing injuries in there. It's too hard, too complicated. We're too far away. So if everybody stays healthy, relatively healthy, this is how I see it. Eagles 13-3. Because I have the Eagles losing the last game to the Giants only because the Eagles don't need that game. They don't need the game to win it, so they sit everybody. Giants win a nothing game. I have Dallas 11-5. I have the Redskins 7-9, and I have the Giants 3-13. And that's how I see the NFC East finishing this year. And hey, it's going to be interesting. Siri, shut up. Siri talking. It thinks I called that. I said Dallas stinks. It thinks I'm talking to him. But Dallas does stink. But it don't matter. Dallas, I think, and I'm trying to be honest, I think they're probably about 11-5 team. Eagles a 13-3 team. Redskins 9-7. And the Giants just stink. 3-13. And you got Daniel Jones for the next 10 years. Bad dog is a mad dog. Cause he knows the Giants always stink. They trade Odell Beckham, they draft Daniel Jones. He's got the ugliest feet on YouTube, but at least he's watching Breaking Bad. Boom. That's how it is. So, tell me what you think. What are you division predictions going to be? That is mine. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. But I say Eagles 13-3, Dallas 11-5, Redskins 7-9, Giants 3-13. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Don't be a dingbat.